Right, we are going to continue our journey on level 2. So now I have to choose one of these rooms to go to. Let's do this one. Let's do the center one. Don't have to do the next one to it. You can actually go and do this one if you want to. But I'm gonna do the center room here. See what we find. And this is going to be room on my little table. It's going to be room E. Okay. So turn these over. The first card that we see is going to be the room. So it is the 6 of diamonds. So we come back to the rooms tables. We are at level 2, and it is the 6 of diamonds. The game room. Fates decided over skilled maneuvers and the whims of chance. Okay, so we go from the sun room to the game room. So in here you'll probably have maybe poker tables, maybe card tables. I don't know if there'll be a roulette wheel or anything like that, but there'll probably be something along the lines of like a carom board, maybe some kind of, mainly sort of dice or card tables, that kind of thing I'm thinking. Right, curiosity. Now I have actually written this down here inside my journal about the game room. Next up we have the curiosity. So the curiosity, going back to the grid. Right, so the grid brings us our cards. Don't want to see the cards before I grab them. Right, so the next card is going to be the curiosity, and it is the 10 of hearts. So we carry on to the curiosities table. Again, we're not level 1 anymore. We are now level 2. So here, make sure it's still on camera. Yep. Right, we have the 10 of hearts. The scent of burning herbs pervades the room. Which ritual does it recall? Ooh, rituals inside a gaming room? Somebody doing some naughty business to be able to cheat at cards, maybe? So again, I've just put that here inside my journal. Scent of burning herbs. In a game room, what ritual does it recall? It may not be ritual. I mean, it could simply be like an air freshener kind of thing, where the herbs were burned like an incense in order to kind of freshen up the room. So we have the room, the game room. We have the curiosity, which is the burning herbs. I mean, it could be something else. We need to see what it does mean. But I'm thinking that maybe it may just be like an air freshening thing. Right. Next thing we need to do is we need to reveal the threat or the horror. Now, at the moment, this room is not really giving me any more sort of clues or anything regarding what I've kind of thought so far. But let's see. Okay, so the challenge is going to be the 9 of clubs. Now, clubs is a threat, not a creature, not a ghost. It's like something environment, like we had in our first room down on the first floor where everything shattered and everything kind of exploded. So here we're going to have something similar to that. Something about the environment's going to affect us. So again, we make our way. It is a threat, not a horror. It's a threat because it is a clubs card. And it is the 9 of clubs. So level 2, 9 of clubs. The labyrinth. Stairways twist, walls shift, corridors change, creating labyrinthine paths and traps. Right, again, I've just written it down here in my journal. So the labyrinth, so everything's changing around me. Stairways are twisting, walls are shifting, corridors are changing. All right, so I'm thinking that maybe this is going to be linked with that scent of burning herbs. It's not actually, maybe the smell of the burning herbs, maybe it's like a drug. And it's giving me like this hallucinogenic feeling that everything around me is twisting and changing and it's going to become a danger to me, I think, if I don't get out of here. So the challenge is going to be trying to get out of here while I'm under the effect of this. Like I say, it's burning herbs, but maybe it's like a drug. Maybe it's like a hallucinogenic compound. Maybe I'm going to have to be able to tell the difference between reality and hallucination. I could potentially get trapped in here forever in this kind of dream world, in this complete hallucinogenic form. So this could actually be very dangerous for me. Now, do I want to do a prophecy here? I don't think so. I think I've got a clear idea in terms of what's going on. So I'm going to have to make, again, because this is level 2, the game recommends that you're going to have to make at least 2 successful action checks. But I'm thinking that first of all, I'm going to have to be able to resist the hallucinations. So I'm going to have to try and be able to recognize reality and what's not reality. The second check, again, is going to have to be the ability to negotiate through all of these, what I see as twisting chambers and the walls and everything else. So again, those are going to be the 2 basic actions, but we're going to have to see what happens and see whether I can actually get past the first one. Because if I can't tell reality, I may have to, oops, sorry, I moved the camera. I may have to do another check to kind of really sort of boost myself back into reality. So we're getting our dice. Let's have a think. Right, so the white dice, or the white die, will be the definite ability to distinguish reality from hallucinations. The black die will be that maybe I suspect that something's not right, that where I am is not reality, but I can't pull myself out of it just yet. It's like being in a dream, but not being able to wake up just yet. So this will be a success. This will be like a partial success, but I'm going to have to make another check to fully bring myself out of the hallucinations. So let's see how we do. A 5 and a 4. It's close. So we do manage to recognize that what we're seeing around us, all these things that are changing, it's not reality. We do recognize that, but it's very hard to keep that in mind. It keeps trying to bring me back into that hallucination where I want to kind of accept and sort of just sit down and enjoy the things that are happening around me. So I do have that first success, but now I want to try and get out of here before the hallucinogen kind of takes me away from sanity again. So I've got to get out of here pretty quick. So for the second action check, the white dice will be the ability to recognize where the door is and get out. The black die is maybe losing grip on the sanity, where the incense or the drug or the pollutant, whatever, is actually bringing me back into the hallucinations. So this allows me to escape the room. This doesn't, and I'm going to have to make more checks to escape. So let's see how we do. Okay, I mean, the dice are rolling well for me. So we do manage to get out, but again, it's very close. As I exit the room, as I open the door and come out and close the door behind me, I'm still getting that pull to go back into the room sort of and relax and enjoy this psychedelic experience where the walls and the ceilings and the floors are all moving around. It's very hard for me to actually pull away from that, again, because the dice are very close here, 2 to 1. But I do manage to get out. And again, I think this is a positive result. So I think I'm going to put 1 card in my power pile. Let's go to the grid. So I'm going to take the card from the room, the black card, and I am going to put that in the power deck because I did succeed at both checks. But because the dice were only 1 apart, they were very close results, I think I'm also going to put 1 card in the peril pile because it was a close thing. Yeah, it was actually a very close matter of the dice rolling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an unused black card from level 2, which is where I am, and I'm going to put that on the peril pile as well, just to reflect how close those dice rolls were. Right, so I've put here, the scent wasn't incense, it was a hallucinogenic, I don't know if that's spelt right, compound. Managed to escape, but it was a close thing. I've just put here down in the notes, action dice rolls were close, 5 to 4 and 2 to 1. So I placed 1 card in power and 1 card in peril, just to help me remember what's going on as I'm progressing through, and I don't forget these things. Now, once again, the cards were a 6, a 10, and a 9. So once again, we don't find a secret room. So we are now going to have to do the third and final room on this level before we can go up to level 3. So let us do the third room. All right, so the final room for level 2 is going to be, I've put here as F. So here F, so I can easily refer to this later on. Now we need to reveal the room, the curiosity, and the threat or horror. So let's go back to the grid. I mean, things are looking pretty good at the moment. We do have 4 cards in power. We've got 1 in peril. But again, we've still got, well, I mean, we can't find a secret room anymore. But, well, I mean, I suppose we could technically find a secret room. But we're still going to be doing some exploration here. On level 3, you have to do all the rooms. So there's still plenty of time to get more peril cards. But we are now at the last room on level 2. We have to do this because we didn't find a secret. But let's see what we find for the last room. Level 2, right, what is the room? The room is the 9 of diamonds. All right, so we are back at the rooms, but we are level 2. So we got the 9 of diamonds. The 9 of diamonds is the meeting room. Decisions draped in shadow. Power and peril aligned. Huh. Right, I've put that here in my journal. So we're at the meeting room. We've come from the sunroom, the game room, and now the meeting room on the 2nd level. Decisions draped in shadow, power and peril aligned. So maybe a lot of important decisions are made here, whether for good or bad, but we'll see what happens as we develop this room. Next up is the curiosity. All right, so for the curiosity, give me the next card, which is the 9 of hearts. All right, so curiosities, we are at level 2. So we get a 9 of hearts. Objects levitate, defying gravity. What is the force trying to demonstrate? Okay. Well, I mean, it's a meeting room. So what is there going to be inside a meeting room? Documents, writing implements, possibly files of data and information relating to the things that were discussed here. Obviously, there's going to be a table and chair, so it could still potentially be a dangerous place. Levitating, defying gravity. What is the force trying to demonstrate? Not too sure. Let us find out what the threat or the horror is in this place. Back to the grid. We're now going to reveal the 3rd card, which is going to be the threat or the horror. Come on. Doesn't want to get up. Okay. So we get the 8 of clubs. So it's another threat. Okay, so challenges, threats. It is the 8 of clubs, the echo. Persistent crying echoes through the halls, disorienting and misdirecting. So again, it's going to be a more mental challenge, this, rather than a physical challenge. The ability to resist the crying, the shouting in the halls, kind of like white noise kind of thing, yeah? Okay, again, level 2, so we have to get 2 successes at least. I have written this into my journal, and you'll notice that we actually have the potential for a secret room. Now, we may not be able to use it as a shortcut anymore because we've cleared level 2 now. We're going up to level 3 regardless, but it does give me the ability to add another card to my power pile. And also it may add a little bit of story to it as well. Okay, so let's have a look and see. The meeting room, decisions draped in shadow, power and peril aligned. Okay, objects levitate, defying gravity, and we have this echo. Persistent crying echoes through the halls. Disorienting, and misdirecting. Disorientation, yeah. I'm thinking that I might want to roll for the Oracle Prophecy this time to kind of give me a bit more information, a bit more details that I can weave together to actually kind of make a story out of this room. There's not a lot there to kind of link it all together easily. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to roll up let me just get a bookmark. I think I'm going to roll up the Oracle for this. And the Oracle is here. So once again, we're going to be rolling up the 6 words, combining them together to make this cryptic sentence. Right, our first word, the verb is 5-5. 5-5. Enrich. Didn't we have that in that previous prophecy? Yeah, we had the same word. Are we going to get the same prophecy? Oh, that would That would be awesome if we've got the same prophecy. It's like really, really hammering home, this is the message. So enrich the, okay, the adjective is 4-6, eternal. So it's not going to be exactly the same. Okay, the noun, we get a 1-5, water. Oh, it's almost the same. I mean, it could be trying to send me the same message, but in a different sort of way. I mean, enrich the eternal water is very close to enrich the twisted water. It's only got one different word so far, so maybe it's actually really trying to put this prophecy through. Right, let's go to the second part. Let's go to the second part. Okay, connector. We get a 1 and 3. Around the 1, 2 gate. And then the last verb, 1-4, turns. Enrich the eternal water around the gate that turns. So I think it's an evolution of the first prophecy that we got. In the first room on level 2 that we went to, the sun room, before the gargoyle came down. Enrich the twisted water beneath the river that ceases. So I was thinking that maybe the cause of this problem, the reason that there's a haunting here, the seed that grew into this haunting was possibly some kind of pollution or something paranormal about the river. And now we're getting another prophecy in the meeting room, which is the third room on level 2. Enrich the eternal water around the gate that turns. So maybe it's giving me more information. So now if I do find something that I can use to heal the river or to get rid of this pollutant or this corruption, maybe now, okay, so maybe it's trying to tell me that there's a gate, maybe a man-made construction that's actually the cause of this, or where it was introduced maybe. So I'm thinking this is an evolution of the prophecy. Oh, that works really well. But we still have to take care of the challenge in this room. It doesn't really help me in terms of the challenge that I'm facing, but maybe it's something, again, maybe it's like the ability of a medium to kind of get messages from the other side. Maybe that's a side effect of my ability to actually project into the spiritual realm. Maybe I leave like a link there as I come backwards and forwards into and out of the realm, and maybe I can get messages from the beyond. So maybe these prophecies are not necessarily to do with what I'm doing specifically now in a room, but maybe it's some kind of help or assistance from the other side. Okay, but it's not going to help me here, I don't think. So the meeting room, objects are levitating, and we've got this persistent crying. Right now, level 2, we're going to have to do at least 2 successful action checks. So I think defying gravity. Maybe it's also affecting me. Maybe this sort of reduced gravity is also affecting me. So maybe I have to somehow, again, get out of the room by holding myself down, grabbing onto maybe the table. Maybe the table is the only item in the room that's not levitating because it's just too heavy. But maybe I am being affected by this. So I have to kind of pull myself along with the table in order to actually escape the room. Otherwise I would float. Oh, float too! You'll float too! So I'm thinking, okay, so I think the first role will be to try and block out the sounds of the crying. Now, again, I'm thinking, I don't think it's going to be something that's going to hinder me too much. But I'm thinking that it's going to affect how quickly I can exit the room by using the table. Because it says here, disorientating and misdirecting. So I'm thinking that until I can block out these sounds, I'm not going to be able to escape the room properly. So on a white die, I'm thinking I can block out the sounds and I can continue on my way. The black die, I'm thinking I'm kind of distracted too much and I don't make much headway. I may make some progress towards the exit, but not too much. Let's see how we do. Okay, no problem whatsoever. Okay, okay, that's the first success. We managed to block out the cries and the echo and the sounds, and we do try to start pulling ourselves towards the door. And again, I'm thinking that this is simply a case of progression. So the white die means that I progress enough to get out of the room, sort of fighting that sort of zero gravity, pulling myself along the table and sort of pulling myself towards the door. The black die means I haven't made enough progress and I have to make more checks. So we get, blimey, these dice, they're really helping me. We succeed. Hurrah! So once again, I think I'm going to be moving. Let's go to the grid. Back here. I think we're going to be moving this onto the power pile again. I know it's going to be it's very lopsided, I think, at the moment. 5 cards against 1. But again, there's still plenty of time for me to get peril cards. But I think it was a positive outcome. I think I managed to do it pretty well. And we do have that extra prophecy part as well. Maybe as I'm walking through, I'm getting these like messages, subliminal messages from the other side, giving me some hints and clues in terms of how to overcome this. So what I've put here is I think that I can use that echo, the crying echo, to be the source of the prophecy. So I've put here is hidden within the cries are words of prophecy, tortured voices mentioning the water and how it relates to the haunting. So I'm thinking that within the crying, I'm catching the occasional word and phrase, and it's bringing this prophecy, this development of the first prophecy to my ears. For the notes, I've put here an area of little gravity and tormented cries. So that is the second level done. Let's go back to the grid. So we have now completed the second level. We did actually, yes, let's find out. Do we find a secret room or not? It's a tie. So a tie for yes, no oracles, the most logical answer, a third unexpected answer, or an ambiguous result. Obvious answer, I don't know. A third unexpected answer. Maybe we find a secret room, but it's totally collapsed and we just can't enter. I think that kind of will work. It's fine. So technically there could have been a secret room. There was something behind the door, but there's nothing there anymore. It's been completely destroyed. There's nothing in there. I think that's how I'm going to play it. This video is long enough. But we have completed the second level. What does that mean? Well, that means that in the next video, we're going to be moving up to the third level, where the boss dwells. Until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, press the notifications bell, add some comments. You enjoying this? I hope you are. Brilliant storytelling aid, this. Not just a game, but a good storytelling aid. Right. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Stay safe. Cheers.